Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a little bit of a commentary video based over a roll session that I had with a man named Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Jeff was a guy from Anchorage, Alaska that came up here to Fairbanks and had a time to stop in for a roll with us at Tribe. Jeff didn't disclose exactly what his belt rank was, but after seeing the video that you're about to watch, you'll see that Jeff kicked the living crap out of me in our 5-minute roll. It's been a little while since I've been able to post one of these videos, and it's because I have just returned from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico with my wife, where we had our honeymoon finally. You can tell from the cheeks a little bit red. I'm still a little bit groggy and a bit tired, but we're going to try to get right back into this. So while I was down in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, I did have a great time with my wife. We were able to stay at a very nice hotel and got upgraded to the honeymoon suite, did some adventuring and ATV riding, and ate a whole bunch of food and birria tacos and truckloads of tequila. I had way more tequila than I think I've ever drank in my entire life. Our favorite thing to do down there was to go on this pirate ship, and we got given a pirate who was essentially our personal chauffeur to make sure that anything we needed was taken care of. So while we were on the private island, I noticed that my pirate was doing a roll with another one of the crew on this beach, so I got to get a little bit of a roll in on the beach, which I'll put a couple images here. And after the roll, we had, some scuba diving, and it was just an all-around fantastic time. And I'm glad to be back and ready to go. Truth be told, this is the second time that I've cut this video. Being the perfectionist that I am, I did see some issues with the last attempt at cutting this video, to include channel and audio issues that just frustrated me. So I wanted to just start from scratch and recut this whole video and give something new. And it also happened that during that time, the new shirt came in from Baehr's BJJ from TeePublic. So without further ado, here's some of the rolls that we had. So getting in with our first video of the roll, you'll see me start from my feet and Jeff start from his back. Initially, I was trying to see if I could Toriando pass him, but obviously I didn't try hard enough. And he rolled in and put his hooks in for a butterfly guard. While I was trying to control his knees and try to get one of my legs free, he incidentally hit me in the face right there. And it was him just trying to transition. It was accidental contact. It didn't mean anything, but it lost my focus enough that he was able to snatch my arm and finish me off with an armbar. We rolled right into the second match where I started from my feet and I wanted to try to grab a chin strap and pass to the side, and he ended up getting me in half guard, which transitioned to side control. But when I was sitting in side control, I was unable to get my arm free of his leg. He was pinching my right arm against his shin bone enough that I stuck my head out too long, and he ended up catching me in the back in a modified seatbelt. And we went into this north-south position. He scooped right out in the dogfight, was able to shuck my arm and put me into a chin strap grip. And my coach can't see at the moment is he's got me in a full 5-finger guillotine, and I had no other choice but to tap. As soon as he got that full mount, it was over. So I was within the first minute and a half that I've been tapped twice, once from an armbar and once from a guillotine. I was still trying to rub out some of the fog from my eyes before we went in for the next round, and Jeff seems like to be having a good old time there. Jeff was a little more relaxed at this point and knew that I really didn't pose much of a threat to him. I tried to run into half guard, but he did a great job bracing against my chest and put me into his full guard. And as we ended up in full guard, I was trying to find a way to break his guard by pinning his shoulders to the mat and trying to trap his arm. But instead, he grabbed my ankle and almost turned me over and forced me to put a post down. So we were fighting on there, and we ended up back in full guard. And I'm thinking, oh man, I really hate trying to get out of full guard. So every time I tried to pull back now to post in the normal way to break his grip of his legs around my waist, he just kept pulling me forward with those strong legs and breaking my posture. I ended up letting my head lift out for too long, and he was able to snatch another chin strap and finish me off with a mounted arm in guillotine, forced to tap. We're 2.5 minutes into this roll, and he's tapped me 3 times. I'm getting a little bit frustrated, but at the same time, I'm still keeping my cool and composure. Started up another respectful bump, and I started on my feet. Jeff let me get the Toriando pass to go to side control, and immediately I tried to isolate his bottom arm to try to get some kind of grip going on for an Americana, which was ill-advised. He rolled straight around to his knees because I didn't keep enough pressure in my side control, And we ended up in this situation where me and North-South Turtle from the top, and I was trying to feed my arm through, my right arm through, in order to grab a darce. And you can see he's got good 2-on-1 control of my wrist, and there's not much that I can do about it. I'm putting a lot of squeeze on him right now, but he's just holding off that wrist, and there's not much that I can do to break free. I'm trying to transition from a darce choke to maybe an anaconda and back, seeing if I can find a way to slide one of my arms through, but couldn't get the pass. He ended up coming to his knees and keeping that arm straight out, and I was so focused on attempting to get that arm back that I didn't really go for anything else. So I forced him down in this bottom, I was on top side, and he did something here that I'd never seen before. He snatched my head right there and puts his fist into my throat. I was trying to figure out how to do a Von Flute pass in order to choke him while he had me, but it wasn't there. He only had one arm through, and I didn't know what else to do. I started laughing about it like I normally do and jumped right into it. We have less than a minute left, and I wanted to try to get at least one more run through. So as Jeff leaned back, I yelled "Hiya" and jumped at him just to have a little fun, and he caught me with an easy hip bump sweep, and there was nothing much I could do about it. So we ended up here. And I'm a little more proud of this spot here where Jeff was in full mount. He had my arms raised, and I was able to slide my arms in to get that T-Rex arm going on. From there, I used my right hand to brace his left hip and come across as a seatbelt to try to turn to my side. I was thinking of trying to push him off for an escape, but I sat up too fast, and he ended up taking my back. When he took my back, the first thing I did was hand fight and scoot to try to get my shoulders flat to the ground, which I was able to do, which turned into another huge scramble, and then I went into bottom turtle. And by the time we got there was the end of the round. After the match, the next rule that happened was my coach, Nick, was going against one of the new white belts, Chris, and Nick happened to snatch arm in guillotine on Chris as well. That's when I made the joke that, man, I can't believe this is guillotine choke a white belt day, and that kind of took Jeff off guard, because that's when I realized that Jeff didn't realize that I was a white belt. And he did compliment my escape from the back, but there was so many mistakes that I made during that roll that I learned from, and I didn't let it hurt my ego. I mean, this is kind of what happens in the sport. So that's all for the commentary. It's a little harder to do commentary on one of these kind of rolls, but, you know, I hope to do better and to provide more commentary on rolls in the future. Tomorrow and the next couple days, I'll be doing a couple medical tests, so there won't be as much going on about the journey until next week. So to give you a heads up of what's going on with the channel, starting next Monday, which would be March 6th, is when I officially start my fight camp. From then, it's about 9 weeks. It's going to be 2-a-days, a mixture of cardio, strength training, and jiu-jitsu training. My coach is very involved, as well as my nutritionist over at Elevated Wellness, and we're taking this seriously. I turned 36 in April, and I haven't had any kind of physical combat or physical competition in many years. So I'm taking this super seriously. I keep calling it a fight camp, even though this is just a state level small tournament for white belts. This isn't going to make us the ADCC champion. This isn't going to get me the gold around my waist and a giant trophy to hold over my head and millions of dollars. This is strictly pride and me trying to push myself. As David Goggins says, you only find out what you're made of when you're in the suck, and don't be afraid to tackle hard shit. So this is me trying to tackle hard shit and see where I can go. I'm taking this super serious and hope that you'll follow me during my journey and follow me through this whole process. You're going to see clips of my training. I'm going to try to get stuff put up daily. They may not be as refined or as cut up videos. A lot of it may just be raw cell phone footage or some clips pushed together, but I'm gonna work pretty hard to make sure it's at least entertaining. I'll give you tips that happens. You'll see the highs, you'll see the lows, you'll see some of the weigh-ins, and I don't think I'm going to get underneath 222 pounds. Currently I'm 258 after coming back from Puerto Vallarta. I gained almost 10 pounds since my trip, but after my procedure that I'm having on Thursday, which you'll see a little bit of that, it's nothing major, just testing stuff from our COVID complications that I'm trying to work through. You'll see more interviews with my coaches and more roll footage. I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. It's the second time I cut this video. It's a little bit challenging, this YouTube thing, but I'm getting the hang of it, and I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe and a share. So thanks a lot, and see you in the next one. Bye.